Welcome, everybody. This is the picture that I'm doing, and I'm going to put in this bit at the bottom here now. There isn't a lot you can see from where you are, but in actual fact, this is an enormous stone circle in Orkney. And I want to make a bit more of it than there is in the photograph. For one thing, it's got to look like a circle, not a row of rotten teeth sticking up. So we need to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to put the foreground in. Now, I want to grade it. I can either go dark to light, or I can go light to dark, depending on which way around I want to do. And I think if these silhouettes are going to stand up against the sky, I better start them on a dark ground rather than a light ground. Otherwise, they're going to look peculiar. They really will look like rotten teeth. So, exactly. Now, it might look like a straight line, but in fact, it isn't. There's a bit of a hump here. And then we have a fairly flat area where the stones are. Not quite sure what that hump is. I can't remember now. And then it comes along here. And then it falls off a bit. Comes back up again. So I think that's about where the skyline is. Not too awful sure about that. I might do something about the sky there to make that a little bit less definite. So I then take the next pastel, which is that one. That looks like, no, it's not quite the same. It's slightly bluer, actually. I should have started with this one. Never mind, bring it down. Great, isn't it? You can put the whole of the foreground in one sweep. Wonderful. And there's this one. And there is a sort of path which is wending its way. So we'll have that as a path, shall we? Wending its way around. And so we can take this . It's a bit crude, so it won't be. Have to work on that later. It's just to put something in. There's a slightly browny cast to some of this. So I wonder if that would be too much. Too bright. So the green has killed it a bit. So I'm just going over it with I think it was what do you mean, heather? But not yet in bloom, you know. So it's and that's a bit strong, so I've gone back over it, just pushing back the brown by going over it again with the green. I'm going to run out of this piece of green. I'm sorry. However, oh, don't drop, please don't drop, because you'll break. Right. Okay, so I want to think about the pardon? Yes, it does look like a golf course. Yes, yeah. which is great, yes. Now then, it's how big to make the stones and what to make the stones of, which is exercising my mind a bit. That's purple. What's purple doing there? Sorry, purple. Purple is what Rachel used to call it when she was little. Right, purple. Right, we've got a stone here, and it's quite got a definite shape. The beauty of it is you can make them as big as you like because, you know. And then between them, there's even a little one there. And there's quite a big gap. And we've got one here. And I'm deliberately pulling them forward into the foreground a bit. Now you'll be able to see them more clearly in the foreground, but you know. And this one is also a weird shape of itself. Then that's lower. And maybe, well, okay, think about it. Get them in, and then you can play with them. These three, bless them, are equidistant. It's a bit naughty, but what happens? And there's this one. These are not stones like Stonehenge. Right. That's got that right, actually. The distances are wrong. How entertaining. Right, okay. That's in the right place. That one. This one is wrong. I think this is the colour that I used for the stone. What colour I used for the stone? Yes. Need to be a lighter one. Is that it? Yes, that's it. There we are. They've gone. Isn't it magic? Right, shall we try again? Now this one is there. Assuming I've got that in more or less the right place and using that as a marker. And then we've got one here, which is lower. And one here. Ooh, looks like I'm right. Yeah. Well, these were the three that were equidistant. I don't want you there. You two. I'll have you there. Right here. Right. No, that's wrong too. These equidistant ones are being difficult. Try again. That one. There. And there. And then you've got this bigger one here. Is also shaped. That one, then there's a gap. And there's a big one here. And there's a big one there. And here there are three smudges. And here there are two smudges. And there's another thin smudge there. Right, so we got them more or less placed. Now, if I'm going to bring those nearer, I'm going to have to make a bit more of them than is there. So I need to make it bigger to bring it. Light's coming this way, believe it or not, because it's hitting that part of the cloud. So let's light this side of the standing stone. And if we pull it down a bit, it will be anchored in the maybe. Right. So I'm just to make them big. This one is nearer. Again, if I make him a lot bigger. Put him down into the ground so you can almost see where he joins the circle. And again, light him. I think this one here, quite a big one of the circle. That one. Maybe this one is also a bit bigger than the others. There were, they aren't dressed like Stonehenge, they're just great big lumps. Actually, far more formidable than Stonehenge. Then, so that one can be a bit bigger. So you get the impression of the circle going round. What's that one? I think that's quite big too. Some of them were bigger than others. They didn't go for a stand. There's no standardization at all. They have. It was just a rock which they used. Now I'll just catch the top of that one because he's turning. I don't want him to look like he's in this line. And then this one again. I think I'll make that one of the tall, thin ones. Don't know what it is, but some of them were exceptionally tall and thin. You wondered how, they've been there for 5,000 years, and you think, how's you still standing, matey? I think that's beginning to give you the idea of the stone circle. Now, if we want a bit of push-pull, I make these purple rather than right. Now, it's not very clear, but there's a sort of inside the ring, which we can't see because of the height of the land, there's a whole patch of gorse or heather or something like that, but it wasn't in leaf properly. It was still a rather sad state. So I need to strengthen this up here so as to bring the stones into the so this little hump that they're standing on is part of the ring itself, and it falls away. Oh, I think it's working. By George, she's got it. I don't want to make that edge too they'll fall away there as well. It's beginning to get a bit more of its characterization. This, I think it just happens to be the path that people walk on. I don't think at any stage it's been cut by a machine. I think it's just happens to be. Well, I think it's better if it's that color. Okay. Use this green for the start of a footpath. There's a sort of footpath that comes around the ring itself. I don't want to put in the there's a sort of V-shaped thing here, and I don't think that's going to help at all. So we'll see how we get on with this. But you can work your pastel to a point so that you can get quite precise marks if you want them. I think we'll detail something of the same here. But I won't actually join it up with this one. Right. Right. So now path has come around here. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. Here's my little sliver. There somewhere. Right, okay. We have got China here. So I'm going to, that's not the one I wanted. It's just disappeared. Okay. Have a look. So I'm putting in, trying to suggest the grasses here. So that we've got a different texture. If you're putting grasses in, remember that they have to have they've got to have dimension. So they'll have light and dark and all kinds of other things there. Right, so I need a darker one in there to give me the odd. I'm just jinking around with the pastel to suggest that the light's catching the grasses. So this is a grassy bit. They're a bit long. So truncate them a bit. What I'm doing to make them a bit shorter is put lines across them instead. Gosh, what a lot of kiddims. No point in getting too excited down here. It'll be behind the frame if I get as far as framing it. So not get excited. Now we can do a little bit more here about this bushy stuff here. Perhaps create a bit more. It's just shrub. It's low growing stuff. You know, if it's a foot high, you're doing well. The beauty of pastel is you can suggest it without actually drawing the stuff in. It's lovely. I do like pastel. The foreground's beginning to have a bit of beginning to sing into it. What am I doing here? Introduce a bit of another color in there. Just want to suggest that that is coming around the mountain when it comes, you know. I think. Not too sure about this, frankly. Okay, now what can I do with these stones to make them a little bit less? Right, thank you. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm concentrating. I do apologize. You can see what I'm doing there. Just trying to make a suggestion of the kind of just go and have a look if you don't mind. Oh, better than I thought. Yeah, yes, there is. They're weird shapes. The rock itself is basically sedimentary, so they go into big flat stones, but they're pretty rocky. Massive, tons and tons. How they got them there, I don't know. And as I understand it, they come from different areas of Orkney. They didn't just gather them from round about and stick them up. But that, as you pointed out, is a bit strong, isn't it? Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, a bit better. I'm not entirely happy with the front, but I think I think that you got some idea of what is possible.